It's a kind of magic.
Live from the Twin City.
It's a kind of magic.
It's Triad Today with Jeffrey Griffin.
Did you forget what day it is?
Of course not. Great Scott. If my calculations are correct, it is now precisely October 21st.
October 21st.
October 21st.
It's October 21st.
Back to the Future Day.
I'm from the future.
The future has finally arrived.
Are you telling me that this sucker is nuclear?
We're taking a trip.
Where?
Back to the future.
It's showtime.
News Talk Sports of the Triad WSJS. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Big Show. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeffrey Griffin, right alongside Christian Snyder. Hey, you can like, share, follow, subscribe, sign up today. That's right. We're on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at WSJS Triad Today, and on Facebook at WSJS Radio Triad Today. Streaming live from the studio on Providence Lane. Hey, Twitter world. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. I see you there. See? All right, there you go. That's for you. All right. Welcome to the Big Show. We've got a lot coming your way. Thanks for being here. We're going to get between the pages with Amy Lynn Greer. Courtney Hartman will be along for Mom Life. Christian and I have got a special edition of Brain Power coming your way and our weekly visit to Camp Datto. That's all coming up in hour number 2. Sunny this morning, some strong winds in play. The warmest day of the week, possibly the next week and a half. Looking at a high of 76 today. Then tonight, mostly cloudy. Once dark o'clock arrives, we could have a chance of maybe a evening thunderstorm or a rain shower. We'll see. If it happens, it'll likely be up and gone by the time 9 o'clock rolls around. Tonight will drop to the upper 40s. Wednesday and Thursday, much the same. Sunshine, strong winds, and a high in the upper 60s. And evening lows in the upper 30s are low 40s. So, wow, fall weather is moving into the Piedmont Triad. Good news indeed. All right, it is time for us to get between the pages this morning. We are pleased to welcome in Amy Lynn Greer. Hey, Amy, thanks for being here.
Hey, how are you?
All right, my friend. So Amy's got 2 books on the shelf that we want to talk about this morning. And of course, Amy, we'll go ahead and just right off the bat, you did not author these by yourself. You partnered with Michael Reniger to bring these books to life. And of course, Michael is no longer with us, but I'm sure in spirit, he is very much a part of the conversation this morning.
I'm sure he is, yes.
And when folks are looking for these books, they will not find it under Amy Lynn Greer, will they?
Not Ghost of the Triad. No, it's under Amy Spieth.
Hey, Amy Spieth. All right. You had a life change along the way. Good for you and congratulations.
Thank you.
So, all right, let's start with Ghost of the Triad, takes from the haunted heart of the Piedmont. Now, Amy, who in the world ever sets out to say, let's go track down Ghost and put these stories on paper? How did you get caught up in all this?
Well, it started with Michael. He had been doing it many years prior to me coming into the picture. He had a ghost team when he was at Appalachian State, and he had been doing a lot of stuff, and he had authored Roadside Revenant at that point. And I had gotten the book. I had went and got the book, and he was also a model photographer, and I had done pictures with him.
Okay.
And I got him to sign the book, and he kind of giggled, and he was like, I had you a book for free. And I was like, well, I appreciate it. So I ended up with both of them and kind of put one of them up. But I ended up joining the team, and we had Project Ghost Find, which was the repository of us researching and doing the stories. And he was trying to kind of put a fire underneath the publishing company he was with to go ahead and publish Tar Heel Terrace, and which was his second book, which is funny because we had contacted at the time, it was the History Press.
Okay.
And they wanted us to do a book, or wanted him to do the book. And he was like, there's no way I can do this. Like, I would need help. And, I would probably want to bring my best friend, my sister, and assistant in on this project. So we actually had a little over a year or more to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually got Ghost of the Triad done within 6 months.
So, Amy, I'm curious. When you set out, you say we're going to gather these stories, and I've also. We have shared this path. I helped do a movie on the Mako Light for PBS, and literally hundreds of hours of research, with Joe Baldwin and the Mako Light. And it's not, sometimes folks go, oh, great. So you're a ghost hunter here, ghosty, and you go to an old house that's abandoned and you hope for the best. It's not like that. Can you kind of talk us through the process? Do you hear a rumor? Is there an urban legend? Is there a myth that's been shared through generations and you go, let's go track down what we can find about this? And then where does the journey start? Is it with a local storyteller at the country store? Is it in the library? Are you just Googling out your ears? How do you get started?
One thing is the source.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go to the source. When you start, you kind of have to start at the heart of it, because it could very well be a said urban legend, or it could be facts. And one of the things that Michael and I always set for was facts. Is there proof that this story is real? And sometimes there isn't said proof that story is actually a fact and real. We might be spending, like the Lydia story, decades.
Right.
Looking for the right information.
Well, Amy, in your
think,
journey that you found, and you've encountered these stories up close and personal, whether it's Lydia, and by folks, there is another book, Looking for Lydia, The 30-Year Search for the Jamestown Hitchhiker, which is also available. But if it's
not available, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So if it's the Little Red Man in Old Salem, if it is Guilford Courthouse in Greensboro, the auditorium at UNCG, or the ghost at the former Memorial Theater in High Point, was there a moment when you had an experience when you go, yeah, this is real, I have no doubt about it? What happened at that time?
When you're researching, there's a lot of moments that you're like scratching your head. Is this just something that, a thought form that somebody come up with,
Mm-hmm.
or, what experience? Because you may not actually experience the same experience. I know, like, when it comes down to the High Point, university one, I actually did that story, and one of the things was finding actual dates. There was nothing, and I still there's nothing. These records are lost. They're gone. Nobody has any information. So, you might run yourself into that. You might have a complete load of information for, 10 stories, and then you get to the one and it's like, oh, all of the records burned up. Okay. Do we not have anything? At least a date when the building was resurrected? No, we're not really sure.
So do you go with a gut feeling? Do you develop a sense of this is genuine? Does your mojo say, this is not right? Just something feels sketchy about this. Did you ever have a moment where you literally in the midst of an investigation where you took off running?
Yes. On a lot of occasions, yes. So it's kind of funny. A friend of mine sent me and another friend it was AI generated for ghost tours locally. I'm not going to say the company or what have you, but I kind of giggled about it because she was like, is any of this even true? And I'm like, maybe a little smidgen, maybe a little pinch of it. And, when you watch stuff on TV, or they have to give you some oomph to keep you entertained. And it's the same thing when we're writing. You can go back to some of the first stuff of Nancy Roberts, and it's a little flat, but it still kept you. That's what got me wanting to, to do this. She was the reason behind, I wanted to experience some of these things. And I've been to a lot of these different places to try to experience things.
Do you have a favorite? Is it fair to say, do you have a favorite ghostly encounter or experience or location that you just go, yeah, that's the place? That was my favorite of the whole journey. That was the one that sticks out. What's that spot for you?
Corners Folly, hands down. Always will be. Corners Folly. Yes.
Well, folks,
I love it.
We can get a ticket and go. I'm serious. We should get Amy to go with us. We'll rent a bus. We'll go. Folks, it is Ghost of the Triad, takes from the haunted heart of the Piedmont. So don't be fooled by the scenic beauty, and there's plenty of it. Ghost haunt these rolling hills and the unique cities that we call home. Amy, I wish you well this spooky season. Next time you go out looking for another story, call us. We'll tag along for the ride.
All right.
That
you.
was a lot of fun. Amy Lynn Greer. And of course, when you go to find the book, it will be Amy Speece and Michael Reniger. Ghost of the Triad, takes from the haunted heart of the Piedmont. You got to get that at your favorite local bookstore. I believe it's available on Amazon as well. And then you got some new stories to share this spooky season. It's 8:17. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Courtney Hartman will be here with Mom Life on News Talk Sports of the Triad, WSJS.